guys, what's up? It's Katie Candy and the Droker here with the season 2 premiere of From Comics to Cinemas podcast. For those of you who don't know, we are gamers on Twitch, and you can see the links to those channels in the description of this video and at the end of the video. So be sure to drop us a follow. Remember, you can catch the live recording of the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Candyland Discord. So I am super pumped because I feel like we've been gone for way too long.
It was a nice break. It was a nice break.
It was a good break. But I'm super pumped for our season 2 premiere episode.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about this character. He's in the comic world, kind of a relatively new character, if you think about it.
Last like 10 years.
Yeah. So he's relatively new, but he's super cool. He's super powerful. He's crazy OP. He is Gorr the God Butcher.
And he's super old,
He
like
is.
in the universe, not in real life. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, he is like crazy old, like 3,000 plus years.
3,000 plus years, I think was the number. The highest number I found online.
And you kind of feel really bad for him when he starts out, right? Because like he lived a really hard, rough life. Like,
he had a limp. He was like out the gate, like, physically already kind of down.
Yeah.
Lived on it was a world without a name, but pretty primitive world, right?
Very desolate. Like, pretty much around the corner, any corner was death, if you think about it. Whether it be from like starvation, from like the weather conditions of the planet, which were awful, or like the crazy dinosaur-like beasts that roamed it. And
think like prehistoric Earth. Basically.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Gorr, like his father died they called it sun sickness. His mother got attacked by one of those dinosaur-like beasts, but
she was eviscerated.
Trying to save him. So I mean, he had it really not that great, and then he eventually does what people do. He gets married.
Yeah, you move on.
Has he's
3 kids, I think.
He's got 3 kids. His wife's pregnant with their 4th kid.
With their 4th, right.
Yeah, and she like steps on a rock and causes like this massive earthquake. Not really an earthquake, but the earth collapses type deal.
Yeah.
Taking most of their tribe with him, which, by the way, I should mention this. Their tribe was very religious. And
like, what's the word I'm looking for? Orthodox. Very orthodox, like religion, like to the book, to the letter, to the T.
Yeah. Like praying daily, ritual sacrifices, like everything to try to make life better for them. They would pray to the gods. And so when his wife was killed, they were actually on like a pilgrimage type deal to try to find better lands to survive off of.
Resources, basically. Yeah. Their planet sucked.
It was really bad. So so he's left with his only son. I want to call it Augur, just based on the science in me.
Okay, fair enough, Agar, but I guess Augur works.
I know it's not. I know.
I get it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not.
I know it's not Augur, but that's what I want to call it every time. Or I want to call it Agar, which is a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was the one who survived. That was the kid who survived all the craziness.
Right. So he's got his only son left to survive, but he's like really not in the best of health, and eventually he dies. And at that point in time, that was like Gorr's breaking point when it came to believing in the gods. And so he actually did something that his tribe didn't believe in. He buried his son. And so when he buried his son, that's when his tribe like basically cast him out. They stoned him.
They stoned him publicly.
Yeah. And they said his limp was a sign that
a curse
that he basically worshipped, like the dark gods, the black, which I thought was kind of cool because very much foreshadow, because not long after that, as he's wandering the wasteland, 2 gods come crashing down from the cosmos and one lands and appears to be dead. And I say appears because he's not. He's not dead. And the other god asks Gorr for his help. And as he's asking for his help, now I'm not going to give away the other god just yet.
No.
So as the golden god, let's call him, is asking for Gorr's help as the black, kind of oozy god is laying there, something comes out of the quote-unquote dead god and binds itself to Gorr. This forms into a blade, and Gorr kills the other god because he's like, why should I help you? You didn't help my family when we prayed to you for eons.
Yeah,
Well,
and as far as I could find, he's just referred to as the Gilded God.
Yes.
I tried to find out who it was, what he was, where he's from. He's just the Gilded God.
Yeah, he's just
all intents and purposes.
He's just one of the gods that one of my favorites was just going around, slaying.
Doing his thing,
and that is Null. And so what formed onto Gorr was the All Black, aka the Necro Sword.
The Ebony Blade. Oh no, I'm kidding. The Necro Sword. It was yes, the All Black, the Necro Sword, the God Slayer. It has like a bunch of different names, but it is the first symbiote. That is the most important thing about it.
Yes, it is the first symbiote.
So.
And after he slain the Gilded God, the All Black actually formed around him, gave him like this cool little cape and wings, and he flew off into the cosmos and was like, I wonder if there are any other gods that I could,
He got the lust.
He did. He
got the lust.
He did. So,
instantly, pretty much.
Yeah, and I should be noted too that like anytime he slays a god, he gets more and more powerful.
Correct. And what really drew me to this origin story was not the whole, oh my god, he lost his family and tribe shunned and all that. It was a complete loss of faith.
Yes.
Like this man being whatever, all like 180, didn't even like doubt, just completely lost his faith 100%, walked away from it, turned his back on it, like he felt it turned his back on him. And I feel that, man, especially growing up the way I did, and I'm sure like a lot of us here, you kind of grow up in a really religious household, and then like as you get older, you have this like internal struggle that we all kind of deal with. So it's a story I feel like a lot of us can latch onto. Me personally, I can't. It's the craziest. I'm like, man, this is like, I went through this growing up. Like I was like I felt like I was being betrayed by my God and all this kind of craziness. And
well, yeah, and as Gorr was growing up, he was very inquisitive and always asking like, where are the gods? Why do they never show themselves? Why don't we see them? Why don't they help us? And
you're kind of told, oh, they're out there just doing more important things, or you just shut up and pray.
Yeah, and it's just,
so I feel that.
Yeah,
it's a good origin.
It's a very good origin.
Great origin, actually.
And it makes me love his character.
Yeah.
And well, not really what he becomes, but
well, I mean, I do, but that's just I like villains, so that's just a personal thing with me. And I'm not saying he's good by any means. Oh. He's pretty nasty as a villain.
Like if you so he's like, I've killed like chaos gods, and he tortured the torture god.
He tortured the torture god to death. Which hello, he tortured he killed the Native American gods, which in the pantheon they were considered pretty powerful. The Nordic gods. Or the Slavic gods. Slavic gods. Yeah, Slavic
which
gods.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah. I mean, he took on Volstagg for like hundreds of years. He starved him to death.
Oh yeah, and then he tortured him. He tortured him more for trying to steal bread.
For trying to steal bread. Yeah. And Volstagg accused him of becoming a god himself.
Yeah, which that really infuriates him. Because actually he becomes so powerful. He makes little, I don't want to call them replicas, I forget what they're called, of his wife. Constructs, thank you. Of his wife and his son, Agar. Augur.
Augur.
No. And his wife actually calls him a god, and it infuriates him so much that he fatally wounds her and ends up killing the construct of his wife, which is the reason why he became so angry with the gods in the first place. So
to begin with,
so he has like a lot of like, and then like a lot of self-loathing too.
Right,
But
naturally in a story like this, yeah.
yeah, but then he's also killed like gods of poetry and flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
What did the little dandelion
Mm-hmm.
god do to
Mm-hmm.
you?
No, and then the when he killed an elder god, took the heart,
Yep.
made a god bomb out of it. I mean, this guy just literally he just he full sent it. I mean I mean even Falagar, like
Yeah.
like how heartless you got to be, man. Like I it's just, but more importantly, who he's tied to is the one who he's fought the most. It's Thor.
It's Thor.
Yeah.
And he has gone back in time to
Hmm.
fight
Yeah.
Thor.
Oh yeah. This is another. Oh yeah. Strap in. This is a time travel for the story, but you know that's how it is. So
He held King Thor prisoner for like 900 years.
yeah, yeah. With the he smothered him with the black constructs,
Mhm.
which and if I'm understanding correctly, he can create two kind of things. He can create like symbiotes, and then the black constructs, and the symbiotes can fight and they can stalemate a god, which they did to Thor,
Right. They
and
are
then
the
yeah.
berserkers.
Yeah, and then the black constructs are just like basically like just dark energy, and those are the ones that I think if kill gods give him power,
Yeah.
or maybe I've got them backwards. I don't know,
No.
but there's two things he can do that he can create that are basically just as equal as strength as like Thor, which is unfathomable to think about that he can just leave traces of him behind that are super powerful as well.
And
So he's crazy.
yeah, and he actually leaves them behind where he's like tormented and killed other gods.
Yeah, yeah, as like a marker, like
Yeah.
hey, this is look what I did.
It's like Gorr was here. It's like
Yeah.
leaving that, right?
Yeah, and that's actually how Thor comes across. No, actually, he finds him on was Inigar. I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. Inigar, where Thor comes across young Thor. This is pre Mjolnir Thor. Comes across because he wants to fight these gods, and he's like, he comes across the gods are dead. They're like hanging on hooks. They've been hooked through like meat hooked through the chest, and they're like hanging there. And Thor's kind of like, who did this? And his initial reaction was, and then he was like, oh, right, Gorr. So, and it kind of alludes to like the fact that they've been doing this for like, you know, forever and everything like that. It goes on through the ages, and it goes even into, like you said, King Thor's realm, and then in modern Thor has to deal with it, and then fighting Gorr leaves an impression on modern Thor.
Yeah,
It's
because
like
Nick Fury even whispers to him Gorr was right, and is the
yeah,
reason that Thor loses Mjolnir, and like the just immense amount of physical and mental torture that Gorr puts Thor through. Which, by the way, Gorr and Thor, come on, like can we?
Yeah. You really couldn't. But yeah, they're. I mean, and it's interesting because, like I said, they weren't. He's relatively new, but the way they wrote him in is just so well done that it's just kind of like you don't like. Was it Jason Aaron? Jason Aaron.
Jason
The way
Aaron.
Jason Aaron wrote him in, it just it makes sense, and it also like it feels right. So
Yeah.
you're like, all right, cool. They've been doing this for eons, basically,
Yep.
at their millennia at this point. So
And it's amazing to think, and then eventually Gorr is killed, but then King Loki resurrects him, and there is just he's not in a lot. He's in maybe like, I don't know, 30 appearances. He's got like 30 appearances maybe. But he's so worth it to read some of these and go through it, because you don't really realize how someone who could go with like really no physical strength, right, and just like loss of hope and loss of faith and just basically wanting to give up, to all of a sudden wanting to create a world without gods and basically having the potential to do so. If it wasn't for Thor absorbing the god bomb, it would have happened.
Yeah, which is what because Gar saw his father and his mother, he started praying to Thor.
Yes,
and that power gave Thor power, and then all the other guys, like she said, like it's insanely cool how they wrote that in, and it's young Thor that absorbs it. And he actually takes on all three Thors at once at one point in the story. He fights them like individually, and then they all fight him together, and it's he creates a planet out of the all dark, or the it's just like a symbol. I don't know. I was trying to find a little bit more on it, but he constructed the planet. He's like a Green Lantern. He can just construct things. He can just there it is.
like he's extremely powerful. And the God Bomb, I want to talk about that because he enslaved gods to make their destruction.
Yeah.
How twisted is that? Like,
hmm
look, you can build this bomb for me or I'm going to kill you, but the bomb's
hmm
going to kill you. So,
On the planet he created, he's like, y'all are gonna chill here. You're gonna make your own destruction, and welcome to my world.
mhm.
You like it? Yeah, it's kind of dark and desolate, isn't it? Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, man, he's insanely powerful. And I forget. I think it was Rob from Comics Explained paralleled him to a Green Lantern with the constructs, and I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense because I didn't understand him at first. I was like, he can just it's basically through will. He could just
Yeah.
just through his connection with what's going on with the sword and
Yeah,
his hatred for gods, he can just do it.
basically it's his connection with the All Black.
hmm
Whatever he thinks or wants or desires, the All
hmm
Black can give it to him.
Which made me love him more. I'm like, okay, Green Lantern constructs. Now you've got me. But they're just darkness. Cool. I understand what's going on now. I have I can grasp it. Let's go. So yeah, I thought that was really really cool. He's just insanely powerful, man. I mean, come on, to fight not one, not two, but 3 Thors.
And it takes all 3 to take him down.
Yeah, and he almost kills them.
Yeah.
Like each time they fight.
And it's like, yo, what?
Yeah, man, he's a juggernaut, and like for no pun or in misuse of the word intended, he's a literal like symbiote juggernaut, and it's crazy because like he's just like we talked about. He was just a dude. He was just some being on a planet and just kind of just moping around his planet, being angry at everything, and boom, emo sword drops from the sky and gives him powers. So it's like it's insane. He just I don't know. And then there's that oh god, there was the one panel where young Thor he's dual wielding Mjolnir and he has the power of the All Black and he's just like Kamehameha blasting like Gorr in the face.
It's wild. Like,
yeah.
because when you see him too, like, you're like, this guy? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this guy? This guy in the little black G-string? Come on.
Mm-hmm. He looks like Saint Walker too. He looks like the Blue Lantern. He looks like Saint Walker. Like the parallel is uncanny. So I automatically like the way he looks.
In the comics.
In the comics, we haven't touched on the movie yet. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there because
we're talking about Gorr in the comics.
I think there are some really big implications in the movie that tie into Ragnarok a little bit.
So, as my understanding, future Thor is from a different timeline. But it's like Earth 4100, and I forgot the number. It was some Earth, but young and I think young and middle Thor are from the same. Or they might be different.
No,
I know middle Thor is 616 for sure. I know
middle Thor is 616. Yes.
Yeah, I know future Thor is from like 440, 41. It's like 410, 13 or something like that. That Earth. Where it's like he's the king. He's the one who accepted the king. He's got the power of the All Father. He's basically King Thor.
Yes.
So and then,
All Father Thor. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and that's the one that he keeps prisoner for like 900 years.
Yeah. So that just tells you. And then not only that, after he fights 2 Thors, he goes off and murders more gods and gets more powerful because he realizes he's not going to have enough to kill the 2 Thors. He just injured them, and then. It's almost like the Ebony Blade Bloodlust, but like on a whole cosmic scale.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, and like we touched on that when we talked about the Ebony Blade and Null's Necrosword, because Null was drawn to the Ebony Blade, right, because of the Necrosword. So it's kind of the same, but different.
Yeah, slightly, because it's a symbiote. Basically it has, and Gorr was able to bond with it so well that he can store his consciousness in the blade.
Yes.
After dying, he does this multiple times.
Which, like, he basically, like, they catapult him into a sun and then throw the sun into another sun, but then it goes dark because Gorr's like, I don't need this. I have my consciousness here, and he doesn't need to like survive off of like normal food and water anymore. So, because I think it was the goddesses of thunder, Thor's granddaughters, that did that. And you're just kind of like, wait, you threw him into a sun and then another sun. Is he still not dead?
Just reminds me of Futurama. It's like you're fired out of a cannon into the sun. Yeah, course, comic book magic. He doesn't really ever die, and he doesn't really need to, just because he's such a cool character. Him and Thor they need each other at this point. The way he's been written in it,
Yeah.
you can't really have one without the other now, because that's like his like ultimate foe, man.
Right. Well, and he is eventually stripped of the all black, and
Yes.
he kind of goes a little bit crazy. Like, not crazy, he's just like mentally unstable.
Senile.
Yes. Thank you.
Senile. Yeah, that would be the way it was described.
Yeah. And so they kind of just put him in this little prison, and they're like, we're just going to watch you.
Like, here you go, Grandpa. Here's some flowers to
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Just go ahead and take care of these. Just you evil, crazy.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah. And what's funny is that he's actually kept on Inigar, which was the first planet
Yes.
that Thor discovered him on, which is the gods that were hanging on the butcher hook. So it's kind of came full circle there with that one. But yeah, okay, he does look like powder, guys. Okay,
Oh my
yeah.
god. They are so the chat is putting in pictures of Powder, Uncle Fester. They're putting in death from Bill and Ted.
I can't ignore it anymore. Is that Prometheus? Is that the thing from Prometheus, the movie? Oh my goodness.
I think it might, yes. The Bill and Ted death one, though, that's...
The death is what sent me over the edge. I can't ignore it anymore. Yes. And the Christian Bale version, yes, yeah. Which, I mean...
Look, I get it. He didn't want to be in a black G-string the whole time.
I mean, who wouldn't? Wait, who would? What?
And okay.
I mean, you gotta be insanely powerful to just travel the universe in a black G-string and a sword and slay gods. That's all I'm saying. Like,
the man literally that's what it is. He's got a black G-string, a cape, and a sword.
it's like the Borat G-string. It's just black, just going.
It really is.
Oh man, yeah. He became he's instantly. I want to, like I said on YouTube, for anybody who's wondering, there's a like motion picture movie done of the story that we were talking about, basically where Thor runs into it. And so it's there's a couple parts. It's a couple hours long. You set some time. It's like, I think 6-8 hours long or something like that. But
set a weekend aside. Let's watch it.
There's so if you guys are interested, that you guys can go catch up on that. Basically, what we're talking about, but definitely more in depth. There's some voice acting involved too. It's not too bad from what I've heard so far. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So I'm, who am I to judge? So, but yeah, he's not indestructible, right? Because
no, he can
got his arm
regenerate.
chopped off,
Yeah,
right?
he can regenerate. Which, yeah, Thor cut off his arm and thought he killed him, but he didn't.
It's actually a good look at the G-string. I'm looking at the picture right now. Yeah.
And Thor also, like, Gorr almost killed Thor. I mean, many times. But at one point in time, Thor was able to summon a lightning bolt that knocked them both unconscious. But Gorr came to consciousness before Thor and dipped away into a cave.
Yep, that fight actually ended, I think, with Thor hitting Gorr so hard he created a black hole and sent him across the universe.
Yeah, see?
If I'm not mistaken, that was like one of the first fights, and then that's like I'm sorry, it's just one of those things, like when you read, you're like, he did what?
Yeah, and that was after Thor tracked him down, and then Gorr caught him and held him for 7 days, and then the Warriors 3 came
he actually got go ahead.
Came and had to help save him.
Yeah, he got rescued. He didn't even save himself.
He didn't even save himself. So
yeah, that happens a lot actually, because that's how they end up, I think, stripping him of the all black in the end. Is the goddess of thunder, and all the rest of the gods that she goes and frees actually come and save the Thors, and the Thors, and then
Thors,
they all together they fight.
So he
Gorr
basically fights like it's the goddesses of thunder. So there's 3 of them, right? And then you've got the Thors. And then you've got, I think it's like 5 other gods that she frees, and they go and fight him. So it's nothing like to shake.
Like a dozen gods.
Yeah.
Like gods. Like, not like Captain America's so powerful he's a god. No, like these are gods that are prayed to from cultures and like are powered through their prayers gods. Insane.
Yeah. Which reminds me, there was one point in time, there was a village and they were praying for water, and Thor heard their prayers and came down and, you know, made it rain. Not made it rain, but made it rain.
Sorry. Moving on.
And when he was like, well, where is your God? And there was a little girl, and she's like, we haven't seen her for a long time. And so he went to find the god and found one of the berserkers there and was like, oh, yes.
Yep. That's why you okay. Yeah, it's the all black. It's Null's sword. That's the one he uses.
Yeah.
That's the one he has.
Yeah.
So which my question to you, which I'm glad I remembered it. Thank you for that, Nemus. What's Null doing this entire time without the sword?
So Null, during this whole time without the sword, is actually, this is kind of fun. And this is actually a good tie into what I think could happen in Love and Thunder.
Segue.
Let's go. Okay, so during this point in time, Null is like, yo, where's my sword, right? So he figures out that he can kind of create all of these symbiotes, and they all have the hive mind, right? And he can have the symbiotes go out and do his bidding because of the hive mind. Well, there's a big fight that ensues, and it severs the hive mind connection, right? So the hive mind connection is now lost. And so the symbiotes separate into two factions, right? You've got the Clintar, which are like, yo, screw this Null guy, right? We don't like him. We like thinking for ourselves.
Right. That's Venom, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, Clintar, yeah.
And then you've got the other symbiotes who are like, we need to bring Null forth. We need to worship Null. And that's like Carnage. So you have these two factions now, and the Clintar symbiotes then imprison Null onto, well, Clintar, because Clintar's not technically a planet. It's a bunch of symbiotes holding it together, holding Null together. Or not together, but imprisoning Null, right? So
got it.
That's where Null is. And that's like where the King in Black then comes forth.
Okay, because I was literally, I'm like, okay, so Gorr's just running around the universe for millennia, just slaying gods, and he just doesn't come looking for his sword. What's going on?
Well,
yeah, I didn't touch Null yet. I didn't go that deep into Null. So.
Yeah, and to be fair, Null was running around the universe killing gods too. So
that represented light, whereas Gorr just all gods.
Right, but so Null's kind of probably like, he's going for everyone. As long as he doesn't come after me.
Actually, no, that's a good point. He's doing my work for me, kind of. He's a little crazy, but yeah, he's out there doing the thing. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what Null was doing. Null was basically like playing from behind the scenes with his symbiotes.
Was that the Symbiote Wars or whatever was that was called? Or is that something different?
That's something a little bit different. So that's kind of like after everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, see, I don't know. I don't know things. Okay. I'm sorry.
There is like this crazy like.
Because I know the symbiotic story like blew up like 10, 12 years ago. Like because I didn't read Marvel Symbiote for a while because that's what drew me to Marvel initially was the whole like Spider-Man Venom, and then like I didn't pay attention to it, and like I came back to it and there were like all these symbiotes, and there was a symbiote king and a god, and this was going on, and there was a white Venom, and I was like, what?
You mean anti-venom?
Anti-venom, but yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
But there was even like this basically like Guardians of the Galaxy type deal of symbiotes.
Oh, well, okay. That sounds awful to run into, but yeah okay, I'm down here for it. Good Lord.
Yeah, so there's, the symbiotes are kind of cool. Null kind of did a really cool thing. And that kind of brings me to this. So, all right, we got Thor Love and Thunder coming out, right? We all know Christian Bale is playing Gorr. We see him in the one preview clip, whatever, have a sword, right? But it doesn't very much look like the Necro sword or the All Black, right? You know what does? Remember all of those daggers and swords that Hela had? And remember how Hela and Odin were just running around, wiping out the 9 realms?
Yeah.
What if Hela was so strong because she was bonded with a symbiote?
Yeah, because she can create all the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
She can create weapon constructs.
Mm-hmm. And they just, right? And she was super strong.
Uh-huh.
All right, so what if she had the all black, right? And here we go. The big fight with Surtur destroying Asgard broke up the hive mind between Null, or she had like a form of the all black. She didn't actually have the all black, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what if Null had already lost the all black? Gorr already had it, running around, because this has been going on for however long, right? So, Gorr already had the all black, so Null's out there making his little symbiote hive mind. Then you had the big explosion and the destruction of Asgard because of Surtur, right? You had Ragnarok. What if that separated the hive mind from Null? You had these two symbiotes. You have then you have Venom and Carnage. Then you have the death of Carnage, which brings Null forth.
Would make sense. It would actually make sense. Because it would. I just keep going back to the weapons with Hela. It would explain that because she did have that uncanny symbiote power. Now that you mention it, I don't know. Maybe, man. Maybe that's the maybe you're right. Maybe that's what they're going to go with in the MCU.
I could be way off base, right? I mean, Null's super powerful, and you have the whole Sony MCU thing going on, right? You've got that whole issue going on where they need licensing and all that other jazz. So, but that's just it. Brandon, is we've already crossed all different universes. Multiverse of Madness opened that portal. Ha! Pun intended.
Yeah. See, where I was thinking was this is what I would have done is because I know that Gorr kind of loses his memory when he gets all pacified and loses his connection with the All Black. And then I was thinking, what if like when they run into him, he's like, that's Thor knows he exists. He knows he's there being all peaceful, but somehow he gets his memories back.
Oh.
And everything comes back to him and he starts hunting Thor again. And like Thor has to explain to people like who the heck this guy is. Like, yo, okay, so this is a situation. We've been fighting for like millennia, but he's been like chilling, like senile as heck. Maybe he reconnects with the All Black after, and that ties into what you're talking about after the explosion. Maybe that like awakes something in his memory, and he's like, "Oh, okay, hold on, now I'm starting to remember things." And that's where, because I don't know, because it's from the trailer, he doesn't look like he has the necro sword. Is what I'm getting at. And that's what's making me. That's what's making me think he's kind of like he's not fully all there or not all powerful yet.
Because that sword does not look like the necro sword, and if that's the sword they're going to use for him, come on.
It could be the trailer, completely like untouched CGI sword, maybe.
Maybe I would hope, because
I agree.
If you're gonna bring in, a character that has the all black, the necro sword, you want the necro sword to look like the necro sword, so everyone like it pays homage to everyone, right? So,
all right, now
that's what we're kind of thinking, Brandon, is you don't see the all black in clips because they can't use the Venomverse.
What if they don't even touch the all black? What if they just completely ignore it and just go their own MCU Gorr way?
I gotta be honest, I will probably be extraordinarily disappointed, because that's what makes him, right? That's what gives him all of his power. It's what allows him to take the power from the gods to become more powerful. It allows him to do all of the things that he could do. So if you're gonna mess with a power set like that, you might as well just create a completely different character.
I agree, but with how tied in Sony is with symbiotes, I'm finding it very hard to believe that the Marvel Disney MCU main continuity would be so bold just yet. Now, will I be pleasantly surprised if they do? Absolutely, and I'll eat my words. My gut feeling is like, because everybody, the way they're talking about Gorr's performance, the way it sounds is like he's an anti-hero
Right. Which
from
is
what
the
I've
thing.
been reading.
But
Yeah,
that's not the that shouldn't be the case either. He's not an anti-hero. He's
I know.
clearly, I mean,
I
my
know. I know.
my guy's just running around being like, "Oh, you're a god, you're a god, you're a god."
Everybody's like, Christian Bale's performance is so moving. And when I hear that word moving from a villain, it makes me go, ah, red flag, red flag. He's supposed to be a bad guy who slays everybody.
Yeah.
Now, you're not supposed to be moved by him. So what's moving them?
Unless they do go into his backstory about how his life was really
Okay.
in the crapper, right?
Okay.
That could
Maybe.
that I could see, but
I'm just saying the reactions I'm getting is making me question it. I really hope they go all Black Necrosword, all symbiote route. I really do. But
I mean, look, the way I look at things, and this is how I look at things, and I know in comics everything is like tied together, right? But we've got Dane Whitman with the Ebony Blade. We know Null goes after the Ebony Blade. So, we saw the Ebony Blade.
we are having the pantheons of gods introduced to us,
Yes.
i.e., e.g., especially Moon Knight.
Moon Knight,
So
exactly. And what if
we are
Moon
getting
Knight,
all the gods?
That's another thing. What if, which we talked about this in the last episode when we did the Moon Knight series, when we went over that, is what if Khonshu and Amet battling kind of stirred up Gorr?
Oh. Or maybe just Khonshu doing what Khonshu was doing in general and just manipulating realities and stuff. Maybe that.
Hey, let me move
spin in the sky. Wax on, dude. Like, what? And, don't even get me started on that. Anyway, but maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe you're right. Maybe all that manipulation and all that use of God energy, guess we'll just call it, it attracts him and wakes him up. I mean, that could be it too.
Right? We got that. We've got the random celestial that's just dead in the earth.
Are you trying to trigger me right now?
I am.
Because yes, that is just arms, face sticking out of half the planet. No big deal. Totally not going to throw off the Earth's, rotation or anything.
What? Gravity's a thing?
Anyway, but yeah, maybe all the gods. That could be the thing. I did think about that because I was like, well, because maybe he will be the God Slayer. Maybe because in the Eternal, or like we got the Eternal. We got all this action going on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's going to awaken him, make me or attract him,
or at least kind of bring him to Earth. That could actually be what brings him to Earth, right? You've got the Egyptian gods duking it out. You got Khonshu doing Khonshu things.
I love Khonshu. I love Khonshu.
I do too.
I love Khonshu.
I really hope they do a season 2. I would love. Listen, Oscar Isaac was great. He was a great actor. I thought he did very well with Moon Knight and Mark Spector and Stephen Grant and Jake.
We got Jake.
Yeah. So, but dude, whenever Khonshu was in a scene, I'm not gonna lie, he stole that scene.
100%. 100%.
So,
yeah.
Plus, Brandon's right. We've got Russell Crowe as Zeus in the movie, so we're getting now the Greek gods. So we've had the Greek gods. We've had the Nordic gods with, of course, Thor and Odin. We've had the Egyptian gods. Now we're having the Greek gods. So there's a lot of oh god going on.
And New Asgard looking really nice. Got some commerce going on
with King Valkyrie.
Yeah, it got some golden tops on the buildings. There's some cruise liners in the ocean, the port. They've been making moves the whole time. So we got to talk about this. Apparently, there was supposed to be a nude Thor scene in this Love and Thunder.
Yes,
and they didn't put it in it.
But it's in the preview.
Apparently, he gets robed. Is what one of the leaks is kind of saying, that he's like wearing like or he's like chained up like this.
Yeah, that's in the preview.
Apparently there's like a satin robe put over him.
Really?
In some screenings, yeah.
Because in the preview, you see it; it's blurred out. That butt is blurred out.
So if I don't see Hemsworth butt, I'm gonna be very upset. I am gonna be very upset if I don't see Hemsworth butt. Because listen, that man did not go to the Big Lebowski body to chisel down for you not to see it. Okay, let's be honest.
Which, by the way, I do want to talk about that really quick. I'm super excited we get to see Thor get in shape. And like, oh.
Scene.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, you know what else I'm excited for? Thor's goats. We get the goats.
I know. I knew you were gonna bring that up.
I love his goats, man.
Oh, yeah. So we are getting Thor's goats. That is correct. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really good movie. I really can't wait. Natalie Portman looks ripped.
Dude, she got yoked.
She looks really shit. She hadn't looked. I don't know. Like my Star Wars fantasies are coming back again. I'm like, whoa, oh, princess, princess, princess. Hello.
Speaking of Natalie Portman,
No, that stays. That's her new name. That's her new name.
I give up today.
Oh, that stays. That is what she is, because she is a Thor. That is correct. Continue.
Anyway, I'm wondering what route they're going to go with her. Are they going to go, is she worthy to hold Mjolnir, or is it the cancer route where Mjolnir is keeping her alive every time?
Oh yeah, because she could be sick after binding with the red or whatever that darkness was from the dark world. I didn't think about that. Because I know they said, I didn't read it, but I know they said they were going to draw a lot of influence from Mighty Thor, whatever story that was.
Yeah.
So I didn't read that, obviously. So
I think I might be wrong about this. Mighty Thor is the one where she does have cancer.
Okay.
Yeah. I could be wrong on that, but I want to say that's the one where she has cancer.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and you can see the cracks in Mjolnir too. So it's actually the, I guess, main continuity one that got put back together because Hela broke that one, right? Because the other one was from another universe because they time traveled and that's when he grabbed it and talked to his mom.
It was from the past.
Yeah. The past. That's what it was. The past. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because Cap put it back, right?
Yeah.
With the stones, wasn't that?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was about to sound real stupid. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, because this one's put back together when Hela was just like caught it and just went. It was just like she just was like, right.
It would explain that too. Her having the power of the Necro of the All Black, because like I mean, what else could do that? I mean, young Thor literally threw a star at Gorr to try to hurt him, and it didn't do anything. So I would imagine, and that thing is made from a star, so crushing that would make sense.
Yeah, because the only other, there's a couple people, but
couple people, but
we know
very
Moon Knight.
Few. Yeah, Moon Knight. Which God, we keep talking about Moon Knight, but yeah,
it's full circle, man.
He is the glue that binds the Marvel universe together.
I'm just gonna change the name of the podcast to Moon Knight and Comics.
Moon Knight stands talking about comics.
Moon Knight and Friends.
Khonshu lovers.
Khonshu lovers.
I do want a Khonshu tattoo. I'm not even gonna lie.
That would be dope.
Yeah, it was forged in the heart of a dying story. I mean, man, whatever. I mean, it's a potato, whatever.
Right. Well, yeah, because it's made of moon rock, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
That's how Moon Knight can manipulate it.
Yeah, which I'm assuming he can only do on like a full moon kind of thing when he's at his most powerful. Yeah, because I don't think he's just walking around just slinging Thor around on a regular basis.
Sure he is.
Or Thor, Mjolnir. Oh god, I called the hammer Thor.
I mean, he did kind of sling Thor around.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Uru.
Which was a moon. We talked about this in the podcast. I'm watching you, Nemus.
Not to be confused with Uru.
You actually said it, okay.
I did.
Oh, man. What else have we touched on? That was, let's see. He pretty much, man, he just, through time, a menace, blood hungry. He becomes what he hates. I mean, what more is there to talk about with just Gorr, except for what we could talk about in the movie, where we think it's going to go? I mean, I feel like it's going to be the cancer route. I feel like it's going to be, I personally think he's going to be a pacifist and he's going to be awakened. And that's what the whole conflict's going to be, is like, oh man, he got his memory back. We got to go deal with this now. I wanted to see King Thor.
Lady Sif is going to be in it. We could actually see King Thor.
I want to see King Thor. Okay, cool. As long as we get to see King Thor.
Right? We could see Allfather. Rune King Thor would be dope. I don't think they would bring him in, though.
Yeah. So apparently Christian Bale's performance is going to be really good. That's like the initial news. But like I said, everybody says moving, which has got me concerned. But apparently,
Yeah.
still very good as a villain or as a
Well, I
whatever they're going to
mean,
portray him as.
he's a very good actor.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
you know, that's
He was Batman.
I'm Batman.
He swear to me. The voice, man. That's. I mean, I get it, but. I don't know, man. See, and it's like the parallels to Batman too. Again, is why I liked Gore, because like he's like, oh, dude, the dude lost everything, but then it was the loss of faith that I was like, see, Bruce never really lost faith. He always secretly held faith. Gore just
he full on lost it. Like,
I'm gonna go kill all the gods so people feel what I feel.
When the Gilded God asked him for help, he like screamed at him in his face, like, where were you when my wife was dying? Where were you when my mother was dying? Where were you when my father was dying? Where were you when my children were dying? And then was just like, huh! Stabby stabby.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, he's very, and what's funny is there was a point, and I forget which video it was I watched. I can't remember. I think it was a Marvel Now video. Anyway, she brought up a good point. In all of his god slaying, I'm sure at some point in time on some planet in some cultures that he was actually bringing people together by completely destroying whatever religion they had on their planet and making people realize, okay, we can come together over this like tragic thing where like this dude just came by and just killed all of our gods, because like now we were both right. Now we're both wrong and living in like this crap hole with no gods. So let's build it together. And like, so maybe in doing what he did, he may have brought some people together.
He could
in some strange fashion.
He could have, yeah, because he went, he like, I mean,
he slaughtered religions.
Yeah, he went back in time and killed one of the first gods.
Yeah, like that's no feat.
Cut out his heart.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what? So.
Yeah, and then proceeded to make a weapon of mass destruction with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how he started to make the God Bomb.
Horse with the heart.
Which, by the way, let's talk about a great name, right?
Yeah. Also, let's talk about who he had to kill to go travel through time. He killed all the time gods.
Yeah.
Drained their blood, threw it in a pool, and time traveled that way.
He really only needed like a little bit, right?
No, yeah.
Like,
no.
Just like just a drop or two, right? Literally went like overboard, killed all of them, and then left one alive, and then came back and killed him too. Just because he was like, meh, you're a god.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot one.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, when it was the time gods that I was like, oh, this dude is like uber powerful, and then I kept reading and I was like, oh, okay, he just keeps going. He doesn't stop, man. He's insatiable lust to just kill all gods.
And yeah, and it's because a lot of it's like his emotions and the all black feeding upon each other, if you think about it.
Yeah, and he does have a very unique bond with it too, which is, I hope, something that if they are going to go that route, I hope they explore, because I would like to see more of that.
Yo, if they don't go the Necros, well, yeah, it is Necro sword. I almost confused it with the ebony blade. There's so many blades. And I'm not just talking about the vampire.
Yeah. He's switchblade, and there's regular blade. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm trying to find the list of his. I wanted to read off the list of his powers because okay, here it is. It's insanely long. All right, so here's everything that he has: agility, berserker strength, controlled bone growth, cosmic awareness, danger sense, dark force manipulation, darkness manipulation, dimensional manipulation, divine powers, emotional control, energy-based constructs, escape artist, feral, flight, immortal, invulnerability, leadership, longevity, necromancy, power item, power suit, shadow meld, shapeshifter, super strength, swordsmanship, time manipulation, tracking, unarmed combat, and weapon master.
Slow down. I didn't catch all those.
It's like when they read off side effects for a prescription drug. It's so long. I had to do a double take when I saw this list. I was like, wait, so just everything. You could have just wrote everything, and it would have been. And then, like I said, Comics Explained really goes into about how he created the planet. And then, before he dies, he created himself into a universe, or he bonded himself with a universe he created.
He bonded.
Yeah,
himself.
what?
Yeah. That's the power. That's the power of the all black. That's why, like, it is the first symbiote.
Yeah, yeah. It's what which, like I said, which is my main concern right now at this point is they better do the all black, because if they don't, they at least better substitute something in equally as good for a story and power, which, I don't even know what could be at that point. It kind of has to be the all black, now that I'm coming full circle in the conversation and talking about it, right? It kind of has to be. Like, what else could they do?
There, to me, which I think Work in Progress said it in the chat, is they could make it something from a celestial.
Oh, I missed that. Oh,
Yeah.
like a celestial, like, okay.
Which I'm gonna be real disappointed if it is, because
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I don't like that.
So I feel like it needs to stay the all black. I feel like it needs to be the all, like, because it's just fundamentally so much a part of him and a part of who he is and who he becomes and why he can do the things that he can do. And if you manipulate that and you change that, then you never, in my opinion, when you change a power set like that, one who's so dependent, whose character is so dependent upon that, you're completely changing the character. And to me,
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of that.
You and I are on the same page when it comes to that. I feel like if you have great source material, stick to the source material,
Yeah.
just use it, expand upon it, maybe embellish it a little more, but don't change it so much, which is my main frustration with DC. You have good source material, stop changing it.
Yeah. And
So that's what I'm afraid is happening. That's what I meant by my comment in Discord. I was like, do you feel like Marvel's maybe limping along? Because I feel like they've made a lot of changes recently. Maybe I'm coming off of Morbius again, which was an utter disappointment. So, but still, and I know that's Sonyverse, but still.
well,
like,
but that's just that kind of ties into this too, is symbiotes
Yeah.
are so tied into Sony.
Mhm.
And it's almost like, come on, just look, Sony. I'm going to say it outright. Look, I know you guys don't listen to this, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyways. You guys can't do a Venom movie, right? You can't do a Morbius movie, right? The only reason Spider-Man worked for you is because you had Kevin Feige basically telling you what to do.
Yeah.
So just give all of the Marvel stuff. Give it away.
Sell it. Honestly, sell it off. That'd be the best thing for you. Sell it off. I agree. No, that I agree with, because it's just, we're getting good, bad, good, bad, good, bad.
Yeah.
It's like continuously, it's like this side's good, this side's where we're always like, what are they gonna? And then like the Craven news, especially, is like that's not comforting in any way whatsoever. Like we talked about this. We knew they were gonna do something with Craven. We called it. We just didn't know what. And the news came out that he was gonna be not a hunter. He's gonna be friends of pets, and
he's gonna be an animal lover. Why are you wearing a lion pelt?
He is PETA all of a sudden. Yeah, vegan Craven gonna be lit. You know what, dude? If they make him a vegetarian or a vegan, I'm gonna walk out of the theater, or if I'm watching it on my computer, I'm just gonna shut it off and walk away. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hey, Joker, we need to do the podcast on Craven the Hunter. We need to watch the movie. Okay. Nope.
So I didn't watch the movie.
Guaranteed that's how that goes. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that news is not concerned. Like I said, and then this is why my guts, like, it starts to like, you start to like see between the lines a little bit. You're like, oh man, I really hope Marvel, Disney, because they may, and I could totally see Disney, Marvel doing this. They may be turned off to the whole symbiote thing at this point.
I mean, they very well could be, and
they could be like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. It ain't working out. Y'all could have it.
I mean, because. Yeah.
I could see them. I don't want them to do it. I hope they don't do it. I hope that not at all. I hope it's again. But I could totally, if they did that, I would be like, yeah, there it is. There it is. There's the separation of church and state right there.
That doesn't exist in the United States anymore.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like they're good to snip. That's your universe. This is our universe, and never the twain shall meet again.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate, because you have so many characters that interact with symbiotes. I mean, like, at one point in time, like, there's like a symbiote world, and like a bunch of people get infected by, I don't want to say infected, bonded by symbiotes.
Bonded,
And
yeah.
so
And then that ties into Darkhawk as well.
yeah.
The whole symbiote thing, like that's a gateway into the whole Darkhawk thing and doing that whole like that. Why does Sony have the symbiotes? Who gave them that?
Yeah.
It was somebody they bought, right?
They gave, well, it's because of Spider-Man.
Forgot what it was. Yeah, it was
It was when Marvel was kind of going bankrupt.
Oh yeah, way back in the day when nobody thought superhero movies were going to make anything. That's right.
That was when Marvel gave Fox Fantastic Four and X-Men, and they gave Sony Spider-Man, and now they have X-Men and Fantastic Four. Well, I shouldn't just say X-Men, mutants.
Yeah, because they didn't even call them mutants in a couple of movies.
They couldn't because of how it was. So
they're special. They're not Teutons, whatever you want to call them. That's not what they are.
I forget what they called them,
Shifty
but
eyes.
they could never call them mutants because of that.
Well, I know in the DC verse they're metahumans.
Metahumans, yeah.
But I think enhanced. Were they called enhanced? Is that what it was?
That's what it was, yeah.
Okay. They're special. Well, bless their hearts.
Oh, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
They're so pretty.
Sony right now.
Which, by the way, I know this is off topic and we're going to end it after this, but I did read online that the writers of Deadpool 3 have not let the Morbius memes go unnoticed. And there will be likely something referenced in Deadpool 3.
I hope they kill him.
I think it's just like, honestly what it is Wade is going to have some witty quip about something, about more, like something is going to happen and he's going to insert a Morbius like meme, some magnitude.
If he doesn't pull out something like this and go, it's Morbin time, I'm going to be very upset.
My God, how perfect would that be?
Because I want to see Ryan Reynolds do that.
Listen.
And then I want the camera to cut to somebody and be like, what are you doing? And him be like, I don't know. And then just like walk away.
It's Morbin time.
Yeah. Like, dude, what are you doing? We got to get ready. Oh, okay. And just like, oh God, is a cutscene? That'd be great. Oh God. That's actually great. Okay. So that's stupid Morbius. But anyway. Yeah.
But that's all I have for Gorr the God Butcher. I think he's a really great character in the comics. I am excited to see what they do with him. Hopefully they don't make me really disappointed.
Hopefully they don't butcher him.
Hey, I like it. But anyways, guys, that's all that we got. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can catch the recording live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Candyland Discord, or you can catch the upload every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!